Welcome everyone. We are back with more Link to the Past No Major Glitches League, Season 9. And we have a Tempered Sword matchup between Chexhuman and ph. And Twin is going to be commentating this race, so I will leave it to you.
Thank you so much for putting this on for us. We have a nice matchup between Chex and ph tonight, like you said. Let me quick look what their qualifying times were. I should have pulled this up earlier. I'm bad. Let me see. Hold on just one second. Gotta navigate through everything. Qualifiers. Here we go. So, Chex had a qualifying time of 1:25:55, and ph had a qualifying time of 1:27:15. So that about matches what the difference in their actual PBs are. With Chex having a PB of 1:24:53 and ph of having a 1:26:16, it looks like on their splits here. But it's going to be a good race. We all know NMG can be very, very RNG, and things can swing. We just never know what's going to happen in this run until Link has crossed the bridge. So, as with every good speedrun, we start the run out by mashing for like 30 seconds. Just mashing buttons. Just wailing away. Just to get Link up and out of bed. The first two splits are very, very boring, but that doesn't mean that they're easy. I know that sounds kind of stupid, but the first two splits are very technical movement-wise. You'll see Link kind of stuttering a little bit. That's the players doing a strat called pumping. Pumping is just mashing a button to hopefully make Link go a little bit faster. It's not guaranteed, but it can save a decent amount of time if done properly. Yeah, not much to talk about, really. I did see that Chex was practicing a little bit earlier, where ph had to basically get off work and just hop right on, so we'll see if that affects him in any way. But yeah. Let me turn on some sound for myself here. Okay. Coming up on the first key guard here. Both of them do the facing up slash. Good. We like facing upwards slashes on that guy. There is a faster strat called left slash, but it is considerably more difficult, I believe. Just working our way through escape. Avoiding the guards where we can, and mercilessly killing the ones that we can't. I am going to put a shout out to Chex and ph too, if they could. You know, if you could PB by, say, a lot. We've got so many races going on tonight. We've got races going on currently that are partway through. We've got races that started at the same time these races did, and other races showing up tonight. Today is NMG Thursday, after all, so lots and lots of NMG going on today. Plenty to get everybody's fix in and make it so nobody wants to see it again for the rest of the weekend. But we got to get through some of these races first. And I foolishly signed up to commentate a race that starts about 30 minutes before this one will end. So, if you guys could just, fast forward a little bit, you know, get the SNES 9X or Z-SNES out and use that fast forward feature. Nobody will tell, right? We'll keep it a secret between us gamers, right? Okay, never mind. Don't use Z-SNES. Z-SNES is bad. Also, I'm rambling because there's not much going on in this split. Nice RNG from both guards in that hallway. Okay, we both remembered the lamp. That's good. Nice RNG in both snake hallways. Ooh, nice deboost from Chex, though. You know, that snake got in the way, but it helped him out. That's really nice. And, you know, they hadn't taken a hit yet, so taking a little bit of damage is not the end of the world. Or the end of the run. Alright. Both excellent key rat positions. This race is really tight. I mean, it's only 5.5 minutes in, but like it's looking good. All right, so neither runner gets rat frames or the beep frames, so neither one has a slight advantage over the other coming into this little cutscene. I expect both runners to scooch their way around this little scholar priest guy and pick up the sanctuary heart. Good. They didn't prove me wrong. Good. And now we're just gonna walk over to Eastern Palace. This Octo-Rock field is RNG on whether, you get beat up like PH did or not. Oh, okay, well, Chex apparently got beat up too. You really hope that you can just hold down, but sometimes those Octo-Rocks just have other plans. Chex did pick up a blue rupee there, which is pretty nice. Both these runners do tree pulls, so they will need to pick up as much money as they can to make those tree pulls a little easier. And they'll do that by manipulating the rupee pack that those popos, the little wiggly tentacle guys in here, are in. So each of them are at 6 rupees now. So PH was able to get a 5er and a green rupee here and caught up to rupees in no time. Uh-oh. So I don't blame PH for picking up that heart at all. We've got a damage boost strat coming up that can go wrong. It shouldn't, but it can. Oh, PH is gonna get that red rupee and make his life so much easier. So nice. PH is set for money until he has to start pulling trees. Nice damage boost from both of them. Woo. Squeaking by that Stalfos there. On Chex's side, that Stalfos loves to get in your way. But nicely done from both of them. Oh, nice 5-drop lucky pickup there for Chex as well. Ooh, those anti-fairies aren't touching on Chex's side. That's what we like to see. Same on PH's. That means that their movement was very clean throughout that room. It's just a small little thing that runners love to look for as a measure of how good the dungeon's going. Nice. Alright, 1 quick kill down and 2 down. Beautiful Easterns from both of them. Very, very, very nice. This is where the run starts to get fun because we get to go and pick up our Pegasus boots. Which means we get to run and go fast. We like to go fast. So they're gonna try to shout to Sahasrara as far away as possible. You can see PH is just a little bit lower. Was able to trigger that text box a little bit sooner than Chex. It's not a lot, but it's a little, and every little bit adds up, right? So we're gonna go for the first spin speed here. Chex gets it, no problems. Same with PH, beautifully done. Usually that spin speed is a good indication of how well spin speeds in general are gonna go during your run. If you can usually get that one, generally, knock on wood, you know, you usually don't have problems. If you struggle with that one, you know that the rest of the run is not gonna go great for spin speeds. Alright, so neither runner is going for what we call the unholy spin speed, which is the spin speed off those stairs and into the library. It can save time, but you have to be really clean with your movement and get through that doorway really, really cleanly to save time, and it's just not worth it for a lot of people. The one leaving, like Chex just did, and what PH got there is a lot easier, and so it's always worth going for at least once. So now that we have our book, we are going to head on over to Desert. We are going to try not to get Link's shoes wet as we're heading over there, because wet shoes and sand are never a good mix. Both runners using that menu to make sure that we can get Link lined up in the right spot so that we don't splash through that shallow water. So Desert is definitely laid out as a tutorial dungeon for using the boots. Lots of long hallways. You know, it teaches you how to bonk things off of the torches, which only comes up a couple of times. I mean, I guess you have to have the book. So you bonk, what, 3 things off of shelves, torches? You've got the book, which you bonk off of a shelf. And you have that torch key, and then there's a torch key in GT. I can't think of anything else that you bonk to knock it down. Not that it matters, but anyway. But just lots of running. Ooh, nice cannonballs from PH there. I would have panicked and canceled my dash. Both runners are going to be really good on arrows going into the boss of this dungeon, which is Landmos. So 29 and 28, which is what we want to see. We want to get as close to 30 as possible. Arrows are a very hot commodity in this run. Alright, both runners went for that spin speed, called the Desert 2 spin speed. You see that Chex took the route that was a little scarier, closer to that cliff edge. While you're in that spin speed state, if you touch a cliff that you can jump off of, you get an automatic jump. And so touching that cliff is basically, you know, on a PB attempt, it's GG. You just reset the run. Because you have to go all the way through the front of the desert again, and you have to open up you have to move the statues again and all that fun stuff. So it can be a bit of a scary thing to go for in a race, but you saw that PH actually went around to the left and stayed away from that cliff face. Took it a little bit safer. I have no hope of counting. Okay, we've got one worm down on each side so far. Okay, we're down to the final worm on both sides. Alright. I don't know how many cycles that was, but they're both finishing pretty close to each other, and that's what we want to see. Chex menued to the boomerang. So it was found out within the last couple of years that as that pendant is falling, you can actually menu, which you can't do in a lot of instances while the pendant or the crystal or whatever is falling. But for some reason, you can menu there, and so Chex menu to the boomerang as kind of a safety thing. You can use it to boom the pickles if they get in your way, and both here at the Fake Flipper as well as Death Mountain as well. And you can also boomerang the, oof. Okay, okay. We get it, game. Okay, good swim, good swim. Beautiful Fake Flipper from both of them. This is a bit scary on Chex's part. Going on to Death Mountain, already 2.5 hearts down, is a bit on the nerve-wracking side. Death Mountain, or Mount Hebra, depending on who you ask, is not exactly the nicest place in Hyrule. There's lots of things that can hurt you. And just because you have an old man with you does not mean that those things stop hurting you. So we'll have to hope that nothing bad befalls Chex here. Or pH for that matter. Okay. Those darn dead rocks. Ugh. Okay, we go for spin speed here because it is safer. It's just faster and you can move faster. I mean, obviously. So it just gets you through those boulders a little faster than just walking or running. And that's what we're doing. We're trying to go fast. I don't know how many more times I can say fast in a sentence, but... And we're into Hera. Okay, okay. The gatekeeper is taking its toll today. So this room is all about keeping your mind engaged enough that you don't take any damage from these tiles. It's not hard. It's just boring and it's easy to zone out. Okay, that mold arm. Oof. It's okay, PH. Shake it off. We're good. You got this. Let's go. Okay, okay. We're good. That beetle's room is so hard to do fast. Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. So we've got the bomb jump here. Nicely done from Chex. And nicely done from PH. I don't think either runner hit the switch. Nope. Chex is just gonna go in. 1.5 hearts. So's PH. PH is going in with 1. We're just going for it. Okay, I'm not scared. Okay, okay. 1 mold arm down. Oh my word, that was so close. Okay, 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 okay. My heart was racing a little bit. Eep is right. Oh my word. Some of those. Woo! Okay, we made it though. And it's still very close. That dead rock wanted to get in Chex's way. So Chex is probably okay with arrows. If I were in his shoes, I would probably pick up the arrows in this cave, but Chex has got it. And PH is like loaded with arrows here. So they have to do this first tree pull, and then they have to kill 4 enemies without getting hit before they can do the next tree pull. Chex killed the pickle, and PH killed the bird with the arrow. And then both of them, I think, will kill the bird by the log after they get the Master Sword. And then they'll pull another tree, and they'll be rewarded with red 20s. And the reason we are collecting money is because the first dungeon in the Dark World, we have to pay a monkey to get into the dungeon. And that is not a euphemism. We are literally paying a monkey. But first, we have to make it through Aga's Tower and through Aghanim himself. And that can be a bit of a challenge. Yeah, I was worried pH was a little bit too far to the right. You have to be really careful. You kind of want to nudge the little archway as you dash up if you're going to stay on the left like that. Oh, man. I don't know if I agree with that. Oh, no. Okay. Okay. We haven't seen the fairy yet on Chex's side, but we're going to be watching for it at Hammer Jump for sure. Oh, how was that not a key dash? I don't understand. Well, PH got it. Alright, nice easy circle of pots for Chex. Nicely done. PH does get the slightly more difficult RNG, but handles it really, really well. Oh, okay, thank you, Chex. There are some bright flashy lights coming up, folks, so if you're sensitive, please look away. Alright, so we've got Aghanim coming up, and Aghanim likes to... He's the big RNG point in the game. So we're going to be counting the blue attacks that shatter and, like, are not able to be reflected back, like that one. We don't like those. You may see the runners try to clip their boomerang out of bounds here. We just do that because we're bored and it's something fun. Sometimes you can get that boomerang to clip through the wall. Chex, buddy, you've got to like make some sacrifices or something. You keep getting blue balls. I've lost count. Is that like 6 for Chex? And like 4, that's I think at least 7. 5 for PH. My goodness. There's 6. We're just having I mean, okay, I think PH got 6. And I think Chex had 7. There was one league race a couple of seasons ago where Chex got 11 blue balls. Oof. Nobody wants to see this many in a run. Especially not PH. It looks like PH was on a really, really nice pace. Chex wasn't too far off of his PB either, so... So like I said, we get to go and pay a monkey now. And if we get hit while we have that monkey, the monkey runs away. And we have to farm rupees or forfeit. Because you can't get by without 110 rupees total. And if you get hit with Kiki, it's another 10 rupees. Okay. Chex got the horrible RNG that scares the crap out of me every single time. But now we get to look at Kiki Hops. So PH gets a... I'd call that a mid Kiki Hop. Same with Chex. No, so they're even on that respect. The Kiki Hops mean nothing. It's just something, another thing that we runners look for because we're bored waiting for cutscenes to happen. So in this dungeon, there are bombs aplenty, and we will be getting the majority of the bombs that we need for this route in this dungeon, or in this split. You'll also notice that we mirror a lot. It's because this dungeon is stupid, and it's just easier to mirror. Plus it refills, it allows us to pick up more bombs. Both runners remembering to pick up the big key before we go back to hammer jump, which is always a good thing. Okay, 1 hammer jump down. And 2 hammer jumps down. Very nice. We did not see the fairy on Chex's side, which is what we wanted to see. We want that fairy to stay in that prize pack until Turtle Rock. Nice dungeons from both of them so far. After that many blue balls, it is often really hard to stay focused on the game. At least for me. You're just going through the motions. And so Seeing these runners hold it together and have a dungeon like this after that is really good. Okay, I'm glad Chex did not miss that statue because that was his last arrow. So Chex I think got 7 and PH got 6. If I counted right, but I only have 10 fingers, so it was kind of hard. We're having a little bit of a party on PH's side, but we make it through without taking damage. And Chex is like textbook over there, really nice. Not saying that that party was PH's fault. Sometimes that one turtle just likes to just go off on its own, do its own thing. PH. Okay. Okay. Whew. Okay, we're fine. So now we get to start the time of, well, we get the crystal cutscenes from here on out. And the crystal cutscenes range from like 47 seconds to 50 some odd seconds. I can't remember. Almost a minute each. And during this whole time, the runners are just mashing those 4 face buttons, trying to get that text to go through as fast as possible. But it's a great time to catch up on chat and kind of reset your mind for the next split. That is the second lottery I've seen by that Ropa today. That bird scares the crap out of me. Oof. Alright, nice hammer dash from Chex. Nice one from PH. So on our way to Thieves Town next, we're going to stop and pick up the shovel and immediately turn that shovel in for a flute. Alright, neither runner got the quick warp here. This is one of the more finicky ones, I feel. It's harder to go for, or to get on a regular basis. I'm sorry, Joss, I don't even remember what I said. So this is almost a mandatory spin speed. There is a guard on this screen that will just wreck you if you are not fast enough. Both runners getting by him just fine, though. So this is the most opportune time to activate the flute, so we're going to take it. But we will not be using that flute until after Skull Woods. But first we get to go and do Thieves Town. Okay, 2 hammer dashes and looks like 2 quick warps, I think. Oh, PH got a skull rock? Ugh. Those things are horrible. Both into Thieves Town fairly quickly and close to each other. Also, if people are tired of listening to me talk, please know that if you know anything about this run, we would love to have you on commentary. We have a lot of races that are going unrestreamed because we just don't have the commentary crew to help pick up the slack. And so if you are comfortable talking, please sign up. Chex, why did you kill the thing and then dash underneath? Oh, but nice hellway. Let's go. PH is off just a little bit, but makes that nice recovery. A little bit of a menuing mishap there on Chex's side, but recovers quickly. I mean, that's very sweet of you to say. This is my second commentary race today, and a third race that I'm signed up for comms is starting shortly. And I'll be joining that as soon as this race is over. But seriously, I love hearing new people do commentary. If you're not comfortable doing commentary on your own, usually we can find a co-commentator. It's fun. I enjoy commentary. It may not be everybody's cup of tea, and I realize that, but you'll never know until you try, right? Alright, so watch these guys' blind fights. Each hit is scripted, but the movements in between each phase, everybody kind of puts their own little twist too. So it's a dance, and everybody has their own footwork in the intermission. Exactly, Malmo. One Mind is an interesting case where for most boss fights it's not a problem, but where everybody has their own little footwork for this fight, it can go off the rails quickly. But beautiful scripted fights from both of them. And again, we're in the same crystal cutscene. I love it when races are this close. It just makes things so much more enjoyable and exciting. Not enjoyable, exciting to watch. Also, I'm looking on my screen. I can see both runners have cams, and I'm realizing that Chex and PH have a lot of similarities. They both wear glasses. And they both have this swoopy hairstyle going on. Uh-oh, PH got hit by that bomb. Never a fun thing. So, a few more errands to run. We have to rescue a frog. We have to pick up 600 rupees that are just laying around this place. And then we have to get a better sword. So we've picked up 300 rupees, and we've picked up the frog. And we are going to mirror here on this screen transition. Not on the screen transition. Sorry, don't do that. That's a big no-no. Just after the screen transition. If you mirror on the screen transition, you can do what's called a mirror wrap, and that is definitely a major glitch. And I don't even know where the mirror wrap on this one would take you. So don't do that. So anyway, we drop the frog off. We walk out, we walk back in, we drop off the sword. We leave the screen without going in the portal. Good job. And then we go back and pick up our sword. And this is the tempered sword. And it is the strongest sword that we will be getting in this run. With these two racers. Okay, okay. Thank you, Malmo. Oh, we got a fence dash. Let's go. Fence dash is another one of those little things that doesn't really save that much time, but we runners like to go for it. Lately, it's been... my fence dashes have been like PH's, and you just bonk. But we pick up the last of our 600 rupees in that C-shaped house, and now we are off to Skull Woods. Very nice mummy room from Chex there. Oh, shoutouts to Stuck Mummy and the arrow drop. Oh, baby. You love to see that. Making one of the worst rooms in the game easy. Welcome in, Raiders. Oh, PH. Okay, okay. I thought for sure he was going to be dashing into that center hole. Okay, Check's getting beat up a little bit by those Moldorms. Thank you so much for that raid. Welcome in, everybody. Okay. You kind of don't want that ferry, because you really don't want beams going into the back of Skull Woods, because it makes killing a mummy back there harder. And a lot of times if you end up with snagging that ferry on your way through, a lot of people will actually intentionally take damage just from a spike or something like that along the way so that they don't have to worry about it. I'm not sure what the Ropa gamble is. I usually just take damage on a spike. Or like from the Moldorm where PH is. Oh, okay, I see, Momo. So yeah, without beams, hitting the mummy into that spike to kill it faster is really difficult. That was a beautiful moth from Chex. A one spike moth is beautiful. Like it's near perfect. Okay, PH. Okay. PH had a few more spikes moved, but we made it through. Alright, we've got a few more errands to run. Link is a very busy young man. We are going to use the flute. We're going to go back to his house. And then we're going to go use the warp point at Aga's Tower. Or at the castle. You'll notice that Chex tooted his flute there. That is to reset some sort of variable, altitude variable or something or other. And that will make our fire rod work the way it's supposed to in Ice Palace, in the first room in Ice Palace, so that we can kill that Freezor just a little bit faster. Alright, pH taking that hit there is not ideal, but there's plenty of places that we can get some hearts along the way. So Chex is gonna pick up, or they're both gonna go to Catfish here. Oh no! That's what Chex was lolling about. I don't know if I've ever seen the guard. So that bonk is not just for fun. That bonk that they're doing after they throw the bush or the rock or whatever into Catfish's circle is to set up a quick warp. So once you bonk off that wall, you just have to walk straight up and you're on the correct lineup for that quick warp that we talked about earlier. I think we talked about it earlier. I might be mixing up commentary races, sorry. Quick warps are good. They're quick, they're fast. We like them. Also, watch King Zora's eyeballs. King Zora's eyes go wibble wobble while he's talking to Link. And everybody should see it. And know about it. Because it makes me smile. Alright, so we've got our flippers, which makes getting into Ice Palace and easier and are required for Swamp in this rule set. And so this is just the most convenient time to get them. Very nicely done on that warp. It is the worst warp in the game. So PH here has an option. It doesn't look like he's going to farm for hearts. So he's going to lose a little bit of time in this second room. Because he'll either have to use a fire rod and then find magic somewhere else. Or he'll have to hope that the Bari is not shocking. And if it is shocking, he'll have to, again, either use the fire rod or wait for it to stop. And either way, it's just slower than having beams. We really like to have beams coming into ice. And also, thank goodness for bomb jumps, because this dungeon is so confusing and like impossible in vanilla. Doing it glitchless, it makes my brain hurt just trying to think about it. I think every time I did it as a kid, I would go around like 4 or 5 times trying to figure out what I was doing. But the bomb jump coming up here on Chex's screen just makes it so much easier. And super fast setup there. Wonderfully done. Ugh, Electric Avenue, please. Okay. PH getting through with only taking 1 hit there. That's pretty good. Oh no. Okay. We made it across, second try. Not too bad. Ooh, nice penguin lineup. I might have been tempted to grab that big magic, just... So, Icebreaker is not allowed in this category. But, That Ice Palace bomb jump, Chex made it look easy. And it's really not. It's pretty pixel specific for a lot of new runners. Making Cold Stare look. Both runners, perfect. Beautiful fights from both of them. So, we still have a few things to pick up. And I don't know where these runners will pick them up. We still have to pick up Ether and Ice Rod. Now, a lot of and then pick up Ice Rod in Turtle Rock. But there are some runners who pick up both Ice Rod and he's just gonna go do Swamp. He'll get the hook shot, and then he'll go get Ether and Ice Rod after Meyer. Or I can't do after Meyer. At the beginning of Meyer. He'll go get Ether. So that he doesn't have to do another spin speed. He'll just do a hook speed on Death Mountain. PH, on the other hand, is going to go get Ether. So it'll look like Chex is further ahead for a time. But keep in mind that PH will have Ether where Chex does not. Now, I don't know if he also gets Ice Rod in this split, but we'll find out. That was a very nice anti-fairy skip from Chex there. If your movement is clean enough in the dam, you can actually dash straight down from the switch that you pull, the lever that you pull, and be able to beat the anti-fairy and not get hit by it. He is ahead in general, yes, he is. But this dungeon, as you will know, can slow you down because it's so easy to take damage in this dungeon. And, you know, every time you take damage, it slows you down just a little bit because you have to sit through that damage animation. And this dungeon just has so many enemies. It's so easy to take damage and just lose those small increments of time that add up. No, I will not. Actually, I will because we're in Swamp. But this is intended as your second dungeon. So the enemies don't do a lot of damage, but like I said, there's just so many of them. Oh, I hope he gets those arrows. He really needs those arrows. He's gonna get them. Hooray! That was a nice lucky drop. So not only are there a lot of enemies in this dungeon, you have those little Tektites, hovers. They have like 15 different names. And they move in pretty erratic ways. So sometimes they'll just get in your way and there's really nothing you can do much about. So Chex is heading to left side to get their big key. PH has got to go grab a key and then flood it before he can go do left side. So we call this room Sociable Fire Bar because there's so much going on. And if you don't get your dash off in time, that room can just go off the rails so quickly. We're gonna dance with that fire snake a little bit on PH's side. Ugh. Okay. I didn't see how far above the switch Chex got, but we do try to get So we try to anticipate the handle on that lever flipping over, and we try to move as far above the crystal switch and over as we can. Chex there did a hook dash to hook that pot and to push that statue. And by doing that hook dash, you can pick up that pot underneath that statue faster. And a lot of people don't realize that it's actually the hook dash that's doing that. They think you can just hook shot the pot and then they struggle to pick up the pot underneath the statue and they wonder why. And that's why. I do not blame Chex for picking up those, that restock room. He was definitely low on arrows. Diver down is not allowed in this race either. So yeah, diver down and icebreaker are not allowed. So, Chex is going for a 1 cycle, just misses it. But cleans it up pretty quick. Uh-oh. I spoke too soon. Yeah, just the bomb jumps. Yep. There is a rando preset, vanilla preset category where you can do diver down and icebreaker, just with the rando ROM that's set to have vanilla item locations, and it does have its own leaderboard. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can always do that. And yes, Malmo, there is a shopping difference. PH got ether while Chex just went straight to swamp. So neither have ice rod. But Chex will have to go up the mountain and get their ether. Booming and zooming. Thank you, VXR. So that's a link to the rando vanilla preset leaderboard if it's something that you're interested in. A lot of people will do that because there's no text boxes. And you get to do some of those funner glitches. It is a different dungeon layout. Not dungeon layout, but like dungeon... Like, the way we go to the dungeons is different. Because obviously for Icebreaker, you need to have the cane. And so you would obviously go to Mire before Ice. So you see Chex did that hook dash, which is a little bit easier than a spin speed. But the problem with doing your shopping here, which discourages a lot of people from doing your shopping here, is you really want to have beams for the second room in Mire. And as we know, beams are better when they're better, and that is one room where they are better to have than they don't. Well, you know what, Black Lion, there's one way to make that go faster. Everybody should learn the run. Just kidding. I mean, obviously speedrunning is not for everybody. But there are many rando players who have picked up the any percent no major glitches speedrun as a way to get better at rando. Just improve their movement, improve their boss fights, stuff like that. Yes, Samwise. Technically, PH is ahead at this point. Somehow he got ahead of Chex. Oh, Chex has Ice Rod. Never mind. So technically Chex is still ahead. It may look like he's behind. Thank you, Dr. Blue. I saw it, but it didn't register in my brain. So Chex has got all of his item collecting done except for the red cane, which is obviously in this dungeon. Whereas PH will still have to go get Ice Rod after this split. This mire is, I don't know what the benefit is. I think it's just to be done with shopping. I'm not sure. Okay, I see. Uh-oh. So PH here is in a little conundrum. So I don't know if you noticed, but when they flued it in and picked up the rock, they did a specific movement to make sure that the bird flew off the screen at a certain height. It's setting up an altitude variable for what's called spooky, which we use in the basement to hit the switches without actually going near the switches. I don't think so. So he missed the block push with the fire rod through it. So he had to stop and move that blocks a little bit in order to pull out, or in order to light that torch. If he pulled out his lamp, that would have broke Spooky. Spooky is allowed, yes. And Spooky is fun. If you are a new runner and you're scared of learning Spooky, don't be. It's a little technical, but once you know how to do it, it's not that bad at all. So PH is a heart down on Chex here, which shouldn't be a big deal. So to set up Spooky, you're going to see that Chex is going to do dash dust and then a block. And that dash dust preserves that variable that we were talking about. And then in this next room, for both of them, they're going to hit the spike with a fire rod. And that fire rod will trigger the switch up above. Now PH missed that first fire rod, so he's not going to be able to do Spooky 3. Which will slow him down just a little bit. Uh-oh, there we go. Okay. But we're still okay. This fight might be a little sketchy for PH, but because he did take that hit from the anti-fairy. But as long as he is aware, we should be okay. Oh. Okay. Okay, we're fine. Okay. So after this cutscene, my brain just shut off. After this cutscene, Chex can go just straight up to the mountain and go to Turtle Rock, whereas PH is going to have to take a small detour and head over and pick up Ice Rod first. Unless he forgets, which has happened. I tell you, the feeling of getting to try next and not having an Ice Rod, that's a rough one. Alright, Chex does not go for the drive-through, which is just fine. Drive-through is scary. That is an option that the meme low % does. I think it's intended to get it before Landmo as well. I think Sahasrara tells you about that cave. So you have to be careful. Standing in this doorway, those crabs will still hit you if you're not watching. Just a heads up for new runners out there. Oh no, these dead rocks are horrible. I absolutely loathe Death Mountain with a passion, but nice dodging. Ooh, we got some matrix moves going on up here with PH. He's going for Waffle House and hops down. Oh, that hurts. Okay. Waffle House is dead. Just go. So I think... I'm pretty sure Chex still has a fairy coming. And I know PH does. Because I don't think Chex lost his PH, or his PH, his fairy, before, or on Hammer Jump Bridge. Ooh. Thank you, Chex. I was hoping somebody would do that. Although how you had time while you're doing this, I don't understand. Okay. Fairy and the magic. Beautiful drops. We really love having beams coming in here. Oh, that was a slow aggro from that one guy. Okay, so at 12 arrows. Does Chex do... Yeah, Chex must do Mike arrows because he didn't pick up the arrows. So many runners do that chest now, and... That... Nicely done, Chex. Oh. I love watching that down left RNG from these top runners. I can't ever get that to work, but you know. Yeah, Dr. Blue, there's a lot of things that I never thought. Like, when I was playing this as a kid, I never thought to use the Samaria block as a weapon. So, when I started watching these speedruns, and I saw it being used for that, instead of just, you know, putting on switches and making those platforms, it, like, blew my mind. Like, I'm like, what? And so, I love watching speedruns for... the out-of-the-box thinking that goes into speedrunning. This Turtle Rock has been solid from both of them. Oh, TH gets the down left as well. Unfortunately, loses that spin, but has a very nice recovery. Doesn't lose any health, just a little bit of time. Spoken like a true glitched runner, Malmo. Okay, you should have picked up the pot. Okay. So we've got Trinex coming up on Chex's side. I fully expect both fights to be backdoor strats at this level. Beautifully done. Oh yeah, we're farming. All right, so while Chex is listening to Zelda talk from her crystal, we will watch PH's Trinex fight. And something else for those of you who may not know. People who watch or listen to me commentate are gonna hate me for saying this like every commentary today. But if, for some reason, if you're playing the vanilla game and you come and beat Turtle Rock before you beat one of the other dungeons in the Dark World, Zelda basically calls Link a big dummy and says that you forgot something and you need to go back and get it. It's actually pretty good. Yeah, no big key guessing game. We know exactly where big key is. Yeah, we didn't know that until exactly. They were like, why is this cutscene taking longer than it does in the other routes or the other categories? And so somebody had to, I don't know who found it or who figured it out, but somebody figured out that Zelda is like, hey, you're missing something. You gotta go back and save the others. Agree, Dr. Blue. Torch key for life. Alright, so Chex is going to be a couple arrows short, so he's either gonna have to sword beam the last of the Armos Knights to death, or pick up Mike arrows. Because sadly, he is one arrow short. Okay. Nicely done on that. We also really want to make sure that we try to dispatch those enemies as quickly as possible. The longer we spend in that room, it changes the way the bats spawn in that ring of fire on Ganon. So we always practice with getting the quick kill, and so when we don't get that quick kill, it can throw us off if we are not paying attention. So just don't mess up, forehead, and things will be fine. Yeah, it's an altitude variable thing. I think. I don't know. That's just what I've heard. And I know it's true because it's happened to me. Because I'm bad and I mess things up. Arc variable. Thank you. That's what it is. Arc variable. Not altitude. Arc. Thank you, Dr. Blue. Ooh, running against the conveyors there. But a very solid gauntlet from Chex. Oh no! Nice mimics too from PH. Wait. What was that mimic doing over there? Did PH mimic clip? Do the Myra mimics in Mimics 1? Did anybody else see that mimic on the other screen? Or was I going crazy? Maybe I'm going crazy. It wouldn't be the first time. But anyway, back to the good old Samaria strats. When I first saw the 2 Wizrobes room where you use the Samaria to kill them, I was freaking amazed. Nice! Shooting PH. Woo! Sharp shooter. Mimic for... Oh, okay. Mimic 0. Okay. Thank you, Mamo. That makes a lot more sense. I just thought it was a weird glitch. Color glitch from being clipped out. Oh my goodness. That Medusa is the worst thing in the climb. Okay, so we have Agatu, Electric Boogaloo. Uh-oh, PH. Oh no. Oh, PH, please. Oh my word. Okay. Alright, Chex. Ya gamer. That was a very quick Agatu. Yeah. With like 7 blue balls. Oh, and he did gold turtle rock. Farming that gold was a good thing. Alright, so we've got phase 1 down. We're almost done with phase 2. Good on Chex for counting, because I would have slashed there. Oh, PH, please. Oh, that one must have been a poke and not a slash. Ganon. Okay. Okay, we got Torch Glitch. So phase 4 is gonna go for Chex. Okay, that's 3 hits on Agatu. 4 hits. There we go. Agatu is down for PH. Yeah, Ganon was racking up those frequent flyer miles tonight for Chex. And GG's to Chex with a solid 125.45. Oh, 46. My apologies. All right, PH. Let's finish strong. Nice phase 1. Getting our dash pokes in on phase 2. Dodging those bats, nice. All right. Phase 3 is just all RNG on whether he warps all over Hyrule and back. Okay, and we're at Torch Glitch for PH. Not bumps. There we go. Torch Glitch acquired. 12, 10, 11 spins. I don't know. I can't count. Don't look at me. I just spin until he blows up. Which is why I'm bad at Ganon. All right, and there is Ganon down for PH as well. GG to PH as well. You guys follow these runners. They are great runners of this game, and excellent streamers. Both have very cozy streams. Highly recommend them. Please follow them. We have a bit of an echo from you, Chex, I think.
Hello. Echo. Hello.
Echo.
Echo.
Hey, Chex.
Hi. Hey, Twin
Nice
GGs.
TR gold.
Thank you. We can do
other
better
than
than that.
Okay, I'll believe you. Let's see. Peach is also here, so GG's to both of you.
Hey.
GPH.
Yo, GG's Chex.
Oh, we've got another echo going on.
Really? Okay.
GG.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, were you just
maybe
talking about
I'm
the fact that we both said the same thing?
No, like I'm hearing an echo, and I don't know why.
Do you have my stream up?
Nope.
Huh. I don't know.
I don't know either. Anyway, we'll just ignore it. So other than the blue balls being horrible, how did you guys feel about your run? Your runs?
I was able to save time in the Dark World by 4 seconds, so I feel okay about that.
Nice.
It's a drag being 55 seconds behind, starting in the Dark World and then falling a minute behind, but I'm pretty psyched about the TR Gold, which put me at less than a minute behind, so there we go.
Oh, sick. How many blue balls did you get?
7.
Oh, jeez. I guess we had 13 between the two of us. That's cool.
Yeah.
Like you had 6. Like it was not great. So.
Yeah, I don't know. But how was the rest of your run, Chex?
Pretty good. So, let's take a look. Since I can't remember offhand, Desert was like a 5 cycle or something, Landmo. So I was like huffing and puffing to keep up with you. And Hera was okay. Then we had the Aga Tower, that was fine. Yeah, the start of Dark World was pretty okay, and Skull Woods was a time save. Good Moth going in with 3 hearts was a little scary, but it was fine. Like a 1 spike. And yeah, then the rest was actually looking pretty good, just looking at my splits. Less than 10 seconds of time loss on each split. It's a little,
nice.
It's a little behind gold.
I mean, that's always like a good barometer, especially if your golds are full segment golds. If you're within like single-digit seconds, that's usually really, really good.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what's the usual heuristic that like if you're within like 90 to 120 seconds, your PB is like 90 to 120 seconds behind your gold splits. You're potentially in line for a new PB, and if you're constantly getting single digits, that means you're like probably in that range to PB.
Yeah, I'm going for it.
Love to hear it.
Nice.
There is an additional prize pool going to a charity for every PB that happens during a race. So, if you could save that PB for a race, it'd be great.
Yeah, 1 more week left to try it, so let's go.
Yeah, I believe Chex.
You can do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I had actually like an okay light world for me. Actually, really, a lot of it
looks good.
A lot of it was fine. The funny thing is I had like a 5 or 6 cycle Landmo 2 as well. Was the funny thing. Aside from that, like it was like I think I had like a 28. I had a I was really happy with Castle Tower. That was a really good Aga Tower. But I had some like squirreliness and other stuff. But lots of blue balls. Kind of got through. Thieves was solid. Skull was good except for Moth. Like that actually would have been, I think, a pretty good Skull Woods if I hadn't had a bad Moth. But then it fell apart nice. I don't know if you could tell on the reason. I got like 4 dropped inputs in Mire. That was really aggravating.
No.
So I didn't get. So I dropped a. The map was me. That was just me. But then I got a dropped dash, a second dropped dash, and then I didn't fire rod the torch. So I had to like push the blocks and walk into it to get the torch for one of the like cutscene torches. So that was really frustrating. And then I missed an eyeball on Vidi. So the Vidi thing was fine. I was kind of tilted at that point, and it definitely affected how I played the rest of the way. Like really, really bad GT. Ganon was a jerk.
And how about your TR?
The less said about the TR, the overworld was actually okay, but the dungeon was okay. The overworld was a total disaster.
Okay.
The dungeon was actually pretty good, I think. Yeah, it wasn't amazing, but it was like a few seconds faster than my PB, a few seconds behind my gold subsplit, which is, that's the whole dungeon, so that wasn't too bad. But I wanted to cry because I managed to bonk leaving Pokies 2 into the 8 bomb pack, and everything after that was just a disaster.
No.
Yeah, that was the killer. It definitely, like, I screwed up a menu or 2. Also, I was gonna say, I don't know if people caught it, or Twit if you caught it, but so the arrow pickup was intentional in TR. I was going to try and YOLO the drop until I got hit in the basement. So I knew I was gonna enter on 4, and I was going to go for trying to get a drop in the first Mimic's room, which I did. I got a 10. But I needed to use an arrow in the spite, like the room before that, because I'd gotten hit. So I needed.
Gotcha.
So that's why I opened the chest. I was very sad because I was like, I'm gonna go for this, and if I get it, I'm gonna feel so smart, and then I didn't even have a chance.
All right. Well, is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about before we wrap up?
We should find a way to stall to make you as late as possible to your next race.
Well, I mean, I'm sure Fox is holding his own over there. I'm sure.
No, we
everyone
need Twin. No.
loves-
We need to get out of here as quickly as possible. Twin cannot let Fox be by himself. That is not an acceptable. That is just a disaster waiting to happen. No, I was just gonna say, Chex. Thank you so much for the race. Chex is like one of my favorite people, period, but especially in the community. So I was super duper pumped to have the chance to race. Twin, thank you so much for comms. This is always a blast.
GG's, thanks for the kind words. It was fun. And thank you, Twin. Fun to listen to you during the race as well. And thanks so much for doing a marathon today.
No problem. I just wanted to get as many race streamed as possible. So, yeah, if you guys have time and you're comfortable talking, please sign up for commentary. We'd love to have you. But that's it for us on this channel tonight. I personally will be going over to ZSR 3 and hopping on comms with Fox for another NMG League race that is currently going on. So, I'd love to see you over there.
All right, and we are going to go ahead and raid after we wrap up here. You can also check out Majora's Mask Randomizer Mystery on ZSR Main if you wish. But in the meantime, we're going to go say hi to ZSR 3. And Twin will be going with them. Thank you all for watching. See you later.